before any court, because at the end of it, we know the law says that the matter will be referred to the court. But we're saying it before that time, that the workers stay, and we maintain that we are not to pay for any poor decision that was made by the TCL management. But even more than that going forward, we have control over the oilfields workers trade union. And General Council is on Saturday. We are going to deal with this issue of scamming.
Yeah, man.
We are not going to wait until the end of this to see who's scammed, to deal with them. They are scams now, and we are going to deal with them. As a matter of fact, I want to say, comrades, that issue is so grave, it's tantamount to treason. And we are going to identify some or all of them, but we're going to begin the process of dealing with them. And I'm going to recommend for the council the stiffest penalty, which is expulsion. Absolutely no claim to representation going forward. You know, they like to do the thing and then come for the same union to represent them. And in any event, we are about fairness, we are about dignity, we are about respect. We are not about collecting on a weekly or monthly basis what is tantamount to blood money. Yes, blood money. Despite the fact, whatever challenges we may face with finances, we can do without those who are working against us right now. This leadership of the union will not allow that to go unchallenged and unaddressed. We're going to deal with it. So that those who are thinking about going in now, you make a decision not just to go to work for money against the will of the workers, the majority of workers who are outside, but you have made a decision to not be a member of this prestigious, this glorious. You would have seen us dealing with some of the props. Now, BHU is working on a number of stilts and props. And one of the props, those props, is the use of the police, or the abuse of the police service. And every 2x4 employer, capitalist class person in this country today feels that because the state is configured in the way it is, traditionally, and still maintains that configuration, to defend the capitalists and the employer class, every 2x4 manager feels that he could join with his employers association and call the police out and direct the police and instruct the police. State police we're talking about. State police who today has numerous problems, not the least being the question of wage and salary negotiations, which is also at the court. And I might say for them to hear today that the state police, their association, on behalf of the police, comes to where? Not nobody else, but the Oilfields Workers Trade Union for advice.
Yeah, man.
And therefore, we took the position that we will not allow that to continue unchallenged and unaddressed. And last week, we went, it saw us going to the commissioner, take a position. The association didn't understand it. We called them in and have them understand clearly what it means. And it simply means that they are not only using scabs from the company, but they are using police, state police, your comrades and so on, your members as scab. And that is not about eating our food. This is not about taking food or bread from the mouths of the police. It is about taking bread and future away from the striking TCL workers and their children and generations. They understood, and then BHU, one prop was removed. Of course, they were able to go further to somewhat identify that not just the official part of that extra duty, but that there would be some policemen who as everything else, errant policemen who would be taking something under the table and who would be moonlighting, and they sought to close that gap by making a statement, no moonlighting and so on, no taking anything under the table. This is a corrupt management, and to the extent they can get corrupt people outside to support them in this measure of grave injustice against the TCL workers, they will do that once they can get people to join them in that regard. And so that was one problem. We are going to deal with the Occupational Health and Safety Authority, who to date, and I'm sure that every single worker gathered here can attest to the fact that the OSH authority, its inspectors, they are doing anything but doing their job diligently and fearlessly. They are strongly perceived to be directly in the pockets of employers, and it's simply because of that. So we are going to be dealing with that too, to ensure that they come and give here a thorough inspection. Strike or no strike, we struggle to get Occupational Health and Safety Act in place, and strike or no strike, you ought to observe those occupational health and safety procedures and so on. Because at the end of the day, it is the TCL workers in the strike camp here, the struggling workers, the striking workers, who would have to go back to the facility, which facilities are tampered with and so on, in ways which procedures was not followed, and therefore it will put lives. If you want to put the lives of the scab in danger, that is one thing, but your tampering with those facilities would put the lives of those who are outside now going back into the plant in harm's way, and therefore we want a thorough inspection of that and the report produced for everyone to see. So the amount of days I'm seeing there, do we have what? 32 days. Imagine that. Imagine that we cross the Rubicon. We cross way over. We are seeing the shoreline. And people want to go in. People want to go in now. That can't be. When the history of the Oilfields Workers Trade Union is written, when the history of the labor movement is finally written, when the history of the TCL branch is written, when all of those history is recorded, it will not be complete if we did not have the significant contribution of the TCL workers in place.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I come back to where I started, that comrades, you're in the middle of it, and sometimes when you're in the middle of performing a task, you really don't appreciate the enormity of that task and the benefit of it because you're busy working hard. So that comrades here in this strike camp and comrades who would come at the various shifts and so on really don't have the fullest breadth of appreciation of the significance of this struggle today. There are comrades who would like to strike legally, but they can't. There are comrades who want to join a union, but they can't. There are comrades who, if they only think union in this labor exploitation in this country, they are fired summarily, without question. And that comes from the same people, the same so-called good, decent citizens, yeah, who like to attack workers when they stand up for their right. But they will waste no time in firing workers who are entitled to join a trade union, but who is not a member of trade unions right now. And so that is the exploitation that continues. Regionally, this strike is being monitored. On May Day, the 1st of May, we have taken a decision, and we are going to, this evening when I go up to that meeting in just a short while from now, we are going to be putting the final touches on the May Day rally and celebration. You know, the OWTU, unlike any other union, I didn't make it so, I met it so. The OWTU quite different from any other union at any particular day. Could, on a matter of principle, on a matter of significance, bring its members out. Of course, you have in different workplaces people who don't want to, but generally exhibit a colossal show of force and so on any given day. I didn't make it so. I met it. I intend to, if anything at all, leave it better than I met it in that regard. And so on May Day, the 1st of May, because of the significance of this strike, and because of the resilience of these comrades here, May Day celebration 2012 is going to take a different direction. Geographically, yes. It would not be in San Fernando. We would start that march at the Marabella Revolutionary Hall of the OWTU, and we will journey right up to here and end the march here in thousands of workers, all of the country's labor leaders, pledging solidarity and support, tangible and otherwise, in support of this struggle here. One more thing. I was just advised a while ago, I know, let me just change that. People change that. Erase that. I don't like that too. I was advised. That's a reason, or that's laying the foundation for poor performance and so on. Yeah. And boy, are they performing poor, no matter how high they fly. The TCL management, through the pen of one Keith Johnson, today informed the credit union that they have what, some 60 days, one month again, to vacate this premises.
Wicked.
The credit union is a workers' people's institution, like the Alphys Workers Trade Union. Strike or no strike, go back in or stay out here. Keith Johnson, disrespectful, true, ungrateful management, incompetent management. Nobody anywhere will tell any credit union in this country, especially a credit union that has the support of the OWTU, that they have to vacate any premises. That will not happen.
Yeah, man.
Keith Johnson's, the likes of Keith Johnson's come and go. But that the people's institution, the workers' institution, the TCL Credit Union, is here to stay. So again, comrades, I want to thank comrades for coming out. We have a lot to say. We can continue the discussion. So we want to continue to address our minds. So we won a battle. We won a significant battle. Indeed, we won a major battle, the removal of that cap. And that could not have been won with not for the support of comrades standing here, comrades of Central and comrades of T&TEC and of course OWTU comrades. But then that's the battle. The war rages on. The war of injustice against workers continues. And not until that war that started some 75 years ago in 1935, not until that war where the resistance started, the major resistance started, the war started before that, but the major resistance in 75 years ago, in 1937, sorry, not until that injustice has been removed, not until exploitation of workers, not until corruption, not until poor governance, not until arrogance in governance, not until workers get justice, we have to continue fighting this war. The TCL comrades here, your cause is a fair cause, a just cause, a reasonable cause, and a cause that we just have to continue to fight on going forward, ever, and backward, never. The president has arrived. We want to get another a rebroadcast. So we want to get captain. Yeah, ready for the takeout.
On behalf of the Central Branch. Sounds good.
All right. Yeah, come late. You're allowed to speak after the president.